First of all, it is always an honor to talk with you. We've talked in the past, usually with Rob Paulson, but
True. Nice to
it's
see
so
you again,
nice
Tony.
to just get you alone for a few minutes.
You're not going to
Uh,
do anything weird, are you?
no, no,
Okay.
and I am wearing pants, so this Zoom interview.
Fantastic. I'm not,
Oh well.
but that's because
uh,
I want to audition for the role of Porky Pig and Donald Duck, characters that never wore pants and would be canceled today for not wearing pants.
they keep canceling great cartoons, and
I know.
what a terrible era we live in, where people are just scared to laugh. You know.
It
Uh,
is. It is a strange time. We live in interesting times, or as my friend Lorraine Newman titled her book, "May You Live in Interesting Times." Well, that wish has come true, certainly
I
for me,
absolutely love
for the rest of
Lorraine.
us.
I
Yeah, it's great.
met her a few times, and she is just she's still as beautiful as she was on SNL.
Always, inside and out. She's just a wonderful person. We are getting to, I don't know when this is going to actually drop, but we are recording it in the past.
That's right.
Just as everything that's recorded is in the past. And we have, at this point in time, SF Sketchfest is coming up. And Rob Paulson, myself, David Gould, Fred Armiston, and Phil LaMarche, as well as festival organizer and improviser par excellence Cole Stratton, we are all paying tribute to Lorraine on Sunday, the 29th, which may have already passed. I don't know, but I at this point in time, I'm so looking forward to getting a chance to really tip my hat to her. She's such a wonderful person, amazing performer, and inspiration, and so it's going to be great.
Let's talk a little bit about Murder Anyone.
Well, you've got to say it with the punctuation. You've got to put the comma and the question mark. Otherwise, it sounds like just murder anyone.
That's
go in there, murder anyone. And God knows we've got enough people doing that, especially in the last little while. So no, it's murder anyone.
Murder Anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. Well, that's a tip of the hat to Humphrey Bogart. His first line.
Can it anyone?
Yeah. But what an incredibly funny and interesting film this is.
Isn't
with
it
reality shot in black and white, and you guys are what you're talking about is in color. First of all,
that's a nice little twist.
Yeah, what a great
because the easy way to go would be to put them in noir, and us in it. But it's like it's all about the topsy-turviness of the creative process, and the push-pull that every artist, every writer goes through, and yet it's done in such an amusing, beyond amusing. Amusing is such a trite word. Hilarious way. It's a funny movie, and I'm so honored to be a part of it.
You're a great actor too. I mean, you do your job really, really well. But I think, people know you from your voice work, but don't realize that you've spent some time in front of the camera.
A little bit, but not as much as most. So I was really surprised to find that those muscles came back for me. I mean, I have been doing, anytime there's all these young people that grew up with Pinky and the Brain, and now they're all, in film school and or working for Nerdist or whatever, and they're doing short films. And anytime I'm asked, I just say yes. I stopped going, oh gosh, I'm just a voiceover actor. Nobody wants to see me, and just gone, sure, I'll help. And as a result of that, I did get in a little bit of on camera time before this, which is an incredibly special thing to me because of my friendship with Gordon Bresack, James's dad. And I've known James since he was 4 years old, James Cullen Bresack. And so I'm one of the 7 people on the planet allowed to call him Jimmy. But when he asked, he said, I'm gonna bring Murder Anyone to film. I don't want you to play the part that my dad wrote based on himself. I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta honor my friend Gordon and help my young friend Jimmy. And as a result, it's been a tremendous help to me. I've won 3 Best Actor awards at the festivals that this film is shown at. And I'm like, but that's not what I do. I'm not on camera. I'm the voiceover guy. But acting is acting. And, this was just, you also got to stand in your key light and wait to get touched up with makeup and wear the proper wardrobe. Other than that, it's pretty similar.
Well,
and memorization.
you got to find your character. You've got to find the
Yes.
truth and all, just like you've done with the animated characters. That's why people follow you, because they're alive to them.
Well, you know what? If I spend enough time away from the characters, they become alive to me too. Because you put separation between, you know, what you were going from the script on that day, and you go, wow, Brain is real to me. You know, if I watch a 20-year-old episode of Pinky and the Brain, I'm not remembering what I wanted for lunch that day as I was reading the script, going, God, I hope they have lunch. Pinky, we must ponder what we're, it becomes a separate performance. And Brain is real to me. Tiff is real to me. They're no longer just voices that I do if I put some time between the performance and what I actually see. So
there's also this wonderful tip of the hat to Orson Welles, Paul Frees, even, with the breathiness of Brain, and you put all that into it, and he is a real character to me.
Thank you very much. That's my hope always when I do a cartoon character. The only thing about them is, the only aspect of it is that the fact that they're drawn, but otherwise I want them to be real characters to people. And so yeah, Brain has got some very definite wants and fights within him that I hope that I succeed in bringing to the vocal performance, and then the animators and the musicians and the writers, of course, is where it all starts. This is where my love of Gordon Bresack came from. I just loved, I loved Peter Hastings. The way everybody wrote the thing, but Gordon and Charlie, by the way, his real life partner plays Charlie in the movie, and Charlie. I remember when the show came to an end, Charlie suddenly started showing up in my friend's acting class, and I said, Charlie, you're taking acting? He goes, yeah, I'm studying the Meisner method. I've done the writing thing now, and I'll continue doing it, but I want a new challenge. So by the time we got to do this picture, he was the far more accomplished actor than I, and so he was a great partner in every scene. It was just so much fun to play, because I'm playing a version of Gordon Bresack, but obviously I've got to do my own thing with it. But there's a couple of moments where I tip my hat to Gordon's voice and do a couple of little lilty things, because Gordon spoke in a bit of a lilt sometimes when he wanted to emphasize a point. He'd talk in a little bit of a lilt. Hello, so he, a dear man and a good friend.
I have to say that Sally Kirkland is an international treasure.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, wow.
How phenomenal is it that James has her ear and could get her to be in the picture? I mean, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And Spencer Breslin is hilarious. Christos Andrews and Galadriel Steinman is it Galadriel or Galadriel? Crap, I always mess this up. Galadriel Steinman. They're both so funny in the film.
No matter how secure you are, how safe you feel, danger could be right at your shoulder.
Are you going to write any of this? I wrote plenty. Plenty? You wrote Act 1.
Okay.
Richard enters. He's a pleasant-looking chap with a perpetual grin.
He's dressed in tennis clothes. Murder? Anyone?
It's obviously an actor's dream to play any one of these characters, because you're using every ounce of your toolkit as an actor in this. Yeah, truly. I mean, we even had to. There's parts of the performance that are quite physical in Charlie's and my scenes. So it's all of it. And of course, memorization was something that's a muscle I had worked a little while, and I didn't realize quite how big the part was until we had to put it on its feet. I went, I got it. I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff, and I can't just be I can't be like Marlon Brando and just stick the lines on Charlie's forehead. It could have been somebody, Charlie. Anyway, no, I had to memorize, and that was fun, and that was new. I heard that during one of his movies, Marlon was on a street corner and said, "Don't walk." So that's how.
That's right. There you go. I was up there. I thought it was one of my lines, but I won an Oscar for that picture. So.
Did you see the play? I mean, were you familiar?
I did see the play. I was one of. I think I went to opening night. Actually, I've seen all of Gordon's plays. So and on opening night. So yes, I was there for Murder Anyone. I have to say that I think it works better as a film even than a play because the transitions are so smooth and you can do anything when you go cinematic, as opposed to in a play where people are jumping behind couches and disappearing, and suddenly the writers are back and then the characters come on. It got a little bit. What are we watching now in the theater?
Yeah.
But as a film, you can make it do everything that's going on in those writers' imaginations.
I would think that there is a little Twilight Zone in this as well, because it does have that kind of tongue-in-cheek, wink at the audience kind of feel that makes
without revealing too much. Yes,
yeah.
I'd have to agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just brilliant. I mean, I would think that doing something like this is just a huge joy.
Well, it was not only for bringing Gordon's words to life and being honored to be picked to play again a version of him. George begins with G. Gordon does as well, but it's not G. Gordon Liddy. It's George and Gordon Bresack. That part was amazing. But James Cullen Bresack runs a fantastic set. It's fun and funny without being frivolous. We know we've got work to do, but there's a lot of humor, and it was one of the most positive filmmaking experiences I've ever had, because we just all had fun while doing the serious thing of making a film.
And it's hitting the internet, I believe. Anybody can see it now on the 7th of February. It is going to.
Yes. It's hitting the streams, and we want you to watch it.
We do. I've got to bring up a few things. Number one, I think I'm the only living human being other than you that has seen The Funny Farm.
Wow, really? You saw that Chevy Chase movie?
No, The Funny Farm, which is about comedian. I know you were joking.
I was joking. I was deflecting. It's
narrated
a defense mechanism.
The trailer was narrated by Gary Owens, who was one of my mentors.
Oh wow, Gary narrated that.
Yeah,
isn't that? We had the same voiceover agent when I got more into voiceovers. At that time, voiceovers was a dream to be. When we made Funny Farm.
And of course, I've told you in the past that my aunt was June Foray. So I mean,
yes, yes.
You
come to it. You come to it with a pedigree.
I had voice lessons by Dawes Butler and of course Paul Frees, and it was always tremendously fun. I don't know how much I learned, but it was just in awe of Dawes.
Yeah, Dawes gave me a very quick lesson while we were making a Captain Crunch commercial. I mean, he just talked about character. He didn't talk about voice technique. He didn't talk about where to breathe. He talked about the characters and spoke as an actor. And Dawes was a wonderful actor. So was Mel Blanc. This is the thing. People, come to me and say, and they come to Rob Paulson as well and say, I want to be a voice actor. And we always have the same. It's a tired line, but it's true. Just remember, it's small V, big A. It's all about the acting. Not about the burping, but it's all about the acting. And, the voice is a very integral part of it. But I mean, unless it's mime, all acting is about the voice, yes, you do wonderful voices. Can you make me believe that that's actually happening? Can you make me believe that Yosemite Sam is actually chasing after you and firing at you and that you're trying to fight for your life? Mel Blanc played the survivalism of Bugs Bunny. The fact that people are trying to kill him and he's facing with humor and aplomb. That's what made Bugs Bunny such an interesting character, and it's a lot of those cartoons came out at a time when the world was at war, so people could relate to that feeling.
Yeah, and Paul Frees was an actor.
Paul was great.
In a number of films, and he was a handsome man when he was young.
Yes.
And could have been a lead, but they asked him to I think dub Orson Welles one time, and that was it. He went off with Jay Ward and did that. But yeah, again, it's such an interesting thing that this generation is not really familiar with those voices. They hear them, but they just,
which is a boon to me because I get to reuse some of them, and so yes, it's everything old is new again, and
exactly.
As Hank Azaria says in John DiMaggio's documentary, I Know That Voice. He says, "A bad impression is your best friend."
This portion of Screen Chatter is presented by VP Dental. Check out our great dental plans starting at just $16 per month. It's a beautiful thing that you do for your fans. I mean, I know that you and Rob, when you go to conventions, take your time and treat everybody so well. I mean, it's...
Well, what else are we going to do? Go, yeah. Give me the money. Okay, thanks. Here you go. Buzz off. No, these people have taken time out of their day. They've come down to a convention center. They're risking COVID. They come and say hello. The least we could do is spend a couple of minutes and do the voices for them. And I got to tell you, Rob is so, I'm practically Scrooge compared to Rob. Rob does not sit behind the desk. He's on his feet the entire day. He stands in front of his little desk and meets everybody and hugs them and greets them, does a whole laying on of hands, and it's great. I'm older and I'm heavier, so I can't stand for the periods that Rob does, although he's amazing because as a cancer survivor, his body's taken a bit of a beating, but he's come back from it beautifully. And I just, I do my best to keep up with him. I go, well, if Rob's not on his feet, I can get him behind the desk. I have dumped by the way, about 65 pounds in the last few years. So it is a little easier for me.
Are you coming to Salt Lake? Coming to my town?
I hope so. I know that I've got a very good relationship with the FanX folks, and so Dan hopefully will have us out again.
That's great.
We were there a year before last, and then of course, you can't go every year. You have to let the land lie a bit fallow. Except for Jess Harnell, he's so full of fertilizer that.
Well, he's got Kara with him too, and that's
with
him. I go to meet Kara.
And Salt Lake loves him. They just love him. So, but hopefully we'll get asked back again this year. It's one of my favorite cons.
I would love you to come out and maybe teach an acting class out here. A voice.
I'd be happy to. Yeah. I would be happy to.
Maybe I'll arrange that and we'll work on how much of a salary you need, because I know it's in the millions. I know that you don't do anything for less than 10 million.
Yeah, that sure.
But
yeah,
Jude told me she got paid at one time $100 a word, and I said, "Well, wow, that's incredible." Yeah, so
that's I've never heard of being paid by the word. Well, that's astounding.
I think it was the
that
band.
Must have been a special June only deal because I just kind of show up for most of the time for the SAG day player rate. There are certain shows that I've managed to negotiate, legacy shows, where I actually get a decent paycheck. Not that the SAG, scale is actually worked its way up to a respectable number, but
I'm sure, like you, she got nothing sometimes. So just
there are times. Listen, there are young filmmakers. I'll start out. I will sign a waiver and do the voiceover for their script for nothing.
As I close this, did you ever meet Orson Welles?
Never. The two heroes of voiceover I never met were Orson and Mel Blanc. Wow. I missed them. Both of them I missed by about an hour at studios where I could still smell their smoke in the studio. Buzzies was where Orson recorded a lot, place on Melrose. And I walk in there and I go, "It's Cuban Cigar. Who was in here?" Orson was just here. You just missed him again. I must have missed Orson about 5 times. And I remember walking to a place called B&B Sound where the Charlie Brown specials of our childhood were recorded. And cigarette smoke was in the air. And much as I love the smell of cigar smoke, cigarette smoke was there. And I was anathema to me. And I said, who is in here smoking a cigarette? I go, well, Mel, you can't really stop him. He's even in here with his oxygen machine and smoking a cigarette.
You know, when you talk about somebody that's bigger than life, that was Orson Welles.
He certainly was. He certainly was. I wish I'd had the opportunity, and I hope somewhere up there, even though I take the Mickey out of him, as they say, a lot with the frozen peas outtake, and Brain is so much Orson Welles. There's a little Susan of this Vincent Price in there as well, but I hope if there's some kind of afterlife that he's looking down on it and going, I do appreciate that character, the Brain. You bring a great deal of depth and pathos to him, my friend. Yes.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Tony.
On Murder, anyone? I hope I get that right.
Anyone? Yes, please stream it on any and all of the streamers. Just look for it. Just put it in your search field on your smart TV. Murder, anyone, ? And enjoy 81 minutes of laughter.
And watch it twice because you won't get all the jokes.
No, there's so many jokes. It's got a lot of layers. Thanks so much, Tony.
You're my hero. What can I say, Maurice?
Thank you, pal.
You take care.